Hello, hello, and happy Friday to all of you. I'm Tomas Garza, your host of A Course in Miracles 365, Awakening to Love. I hope that you're having a great Friday. And if it's Saturday where you are in Asia and the Pacific, I hope that you're having a great weekend. Oh, yeah, because that's what one wishes for all people is a great weekend and lots of fun. Okay, yeah, that's the end of the live stream right there. Just kidding. All right. Anyway, thank you for joining me. We're here to talk about a couple of very, very special ideas in the workbook for students of A Course in Miracles. But first, as always, I want to invite and encourage you to ask questions if you've got them. Here. This is a great forum for a little bit of live interaction. It's one of the benefits of having a live stream or a live broadcast, and whether it's audio or video or both, is the ability to interact. And if you have particular questions related to the ideas that we're going to cover, or if they're about your life and your spiritual practice in general, I invite you to ask them here because we've had some really wonderful discussions on this forum. This is one of the benefits, and not only will you get some interaction with me and some, hopefully, maybe some answers to your questions, but you'll also benefit people that you'll never even meet. And I say that because with 21st century technology, which we're extraordinarily fortunate to make use of here, like this live stream right now, you, by asking a question that's on your heart and on your mind, can impact somebody on the other side of the planet whom you will not meet in this lifetime. You just don't know the impact that you could have, because there could be somebody on a completely different continent in another part of the world who's wondering the same thing as you are. And by your asking the question, you helped not only yourself, but also them. So it's designed this way. It most certainly is. So I do want to invite and encourage that. And thank you, as always, for tuning in, whether you're catching me live or on the replay. And thank you for all of the hearts, all of the comments, the likes, and the page shares as well. So we really do appreciate that. And well, yeah, let's jump right into it. So as you know, if you've tuned in over the last few days, we're in the midst of another review period here in the workbook for students. We're reviewing some ideas that we've covered previously. And well, naturally, as with any learning curriculum, there's review involved. If you went to university, you had review or a dead week or a week before finals where you, if you chose to take the opportunity to study or to review your materials, then you could do so. Now, the beautiful thing about A Course in Miracles is there's no final exam. Or if you prefer to think of it this way, the end of all of this learning is peace, eternal peace and love. And there's no final exam, so you can't flunk it because you're going to pass it. Guaranteed. Yeah, that's guaranteed. I know you know that. I know you know that, or you wouldn't be on a spiritual path right now at this point in time. I mean, you wouldn't be. You wouldn't be watching this because there's a lot of other stuff that you could be watching on YouTube. I mean, right? You know there is. There's something for everybody, including spirituality, deep level spirituality that will save you eons and eons of time as you awaken to the truth of who we are, you included in that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is all about saving time. So let's save some time and take these ideas to heart, shall we? I say yes. And I invite you to join me. All right. So we're on lesson 144 of the Workbook for Students in A Course in Miracles. And as you may know, if you've seen some of the last 2-3 days of the live stream, we're starting off with some contemplation of the idea, my mind holds only what I think with God. And if you take a moment and think about how profound that is, and also how true, my mind holds only what I think with God. It's a powerful statement. It's an assertion of the truth about ourselves. Now, our lack of forgiveness here in the world, our lack of compassion, our wanting to attack each other and go to war with each other, all of the behavior that we involve ourselves in obscures this. It obscures this, doesn't it? So attack thoughts of separation, of fear, of lashing out in a fit of rage, of condemning and judging people to a fiery hell. Why? Because they are acting a certain way, or they perceive things differently than you. They're of an opposite political persuasion or something else. Who knows what it is? I mean, the list in our minds can become endless. Any of those thoughts obscure the truth that our mind holds only what we think with God. This leads us into the two ideas that we're going to review here. The first is lesson 127. So lesson 144 is a review of lessons 127 and 128 in the workbook. Now, if you're interested in going back and looking at the live for lessons 127 and 128, I do have to tell you, you can find those on Enlightened World Network's YouTube channel. So every show, including this one, has its own playlist on Enlightened World Network's YouTube channel. It's a great place to go. It's updated every day, by the way. So you can go in there and take a look at the live stream that covers these two lessons. Those would be 127 and 128. They're all marked in there and they're fairly easy to find. So that's a great, great resource for you if you want more information. And naturally, there are a number of commentaries available online about every workbook lesson. All you have to do is Google it, and you have a plethora of really wonderful and handy, helpful resources. So another way of looking at this is where there's a will, there's a way. That's just as true in spirituality as it is any other aspect of life. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, so lesson 127, there is no love but God's. Perfect, right? There is no love but God's. So in A Course in Miracles, if you're familiar with it, there are a number of passages where the Course says, God is, period, right? God is. We say, God is, and we cease to speak. There are passages like that in the Course. What this means is that only God is. And following this train of thought, if only God is, there is no love but God's. And incidentally, this is who we are. This is what we're awakening to. When I say awakening to love, I don't mean awakening to a hot new weekend fling with a hot, sexy lover that you met online, or you met out and about, or at a bar or something like that. That's not what I'm thinking about here. When we're awakening to love, we're deep level, serious level, like deep level awakening to the truth of who we really are. I mean, nothing less than that is worthy of you. How about that? Yeah. So, I mean, as a teacher, I believe in what I'm teaching, and I believe in you. Nothing less than this. The truth of who you are is worthy of you. It's not worthy of the Son of God. So, of course, here in life, what we do is we spend a lot of time on things that are not worthy of us. Our definition of love here in the world, it doesn't take more than a half a second to see that it's completely limited, isn't it? I mean, even our romantic partnerships are extremely and extraordinarily limited because, well, love isn't limited to just two people. It's not limited to just a single family unit or an extended family unit or a tribe. It's not limited to just a political party or a country. It's not limited at all, in fact. It's not limited at all. And here in the world, we naturally define it. I mean, all we have to do is listen to a rock or a country song, yeah, on the radio, any piece of popular music, and they're just talking about a weekend fling. That they're talking about love in the sense of maybe a romantic love interest, often a possessive romantic love interest, aren't they? I mean, we all know what we're bombarded with, all of the cultural messages. This is deeper than that. There is no love but God's, and God actually is love. Therefore, you are love. Do you see yourself that way? Do you? Do you see yourself that way? And I do hope that you do. And if you do not, I hope that you're entertaining this and that you'll just take these ideas and do what the workbook asks you to do and mull them, bounce them around in your head, contemplate them. It's the kindest thing you'll ever do for yourself and anyone else. Yeah. No matter what your spiritual practice looks like, there is no love but God's. All right. Next idea, lesson 128. The world I see holds nothing that I want. Ooh. Well, the ego resists that, doesn't it? The world I see holds nothing that I want. So this is a very powerful statement about you with a capital Y. Yeah, about yourself, capital S. Yes. Truth, who you really are. Oh yeah. We think in the world that we want things like, a hot, sexy fling with a partner that we met at a bar or on the internet or that a friend introduced us to, something like that. We think we want to be completely physically ripped, which, it doesn't suck. A new car, right? Lots of money, lots of clients if you're an entrepreneur. If you're not an entrepreneur, big fat salary with lots of benefits. I mean, there are things that we think that we want. Let's go deeper than that. This is spiritual practice. What I invite everyone to do is just take it deeper than that. And what we really want is the peace of God, isn't it? We want peace and happiness that lasts, that's not dependent on a weekend fling. Very temporary, yes. Might be very enjoyable, but very temporary. That job, you're not going to have it forever. If you're an entrepreneur, your clients come and go. Everything in this world is impermanent and subject to change at a moment's notice. It's here today, gone tomorrow. And that's simply the way that it operates. Now, what we can do with spiritual practice is, piece by piece, start leaving all of that behind. Deep down, what we want is lasting peace. We want the peace of God. We want happiness and constant joy. We want permanence, don't we? We want permanence. Well, that is available to us. It's who we are. And despite all of our separation experience, it has never gone away. It's never gone away, despite all of our cravings, despite of our mad ravings and ramblings and flitting from one state of being to the next with our minds in a constant tizzy, racing, full of distraction, fear-based thoughts, thinking everybody's going to get us. Yeah, the world's out to get us. It's cruel, things like that. All fear-based thoughts, yeah. So A Course in Miracles can be summed up, and it is summed up in the very first few paragraphs of the text as saying nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. Okay. Nothing real can be threatened. There is no love but God's. There is no love but God's. Nothing real can be threatened. Yeah. Nothing unreal exists. The world I see holds nothing that I want. Herein lies the peace of God. You're watching this because I know that you want more from life, spiritually want more from life, not necessarily more money. I mean, nothing against that. We've got a brand new car. Cindy and I have a brand new car on the driveway, just a few meters away here. And it's cool. We like it. We're glad we have it, but it's not lasting happiness. Right? So we spend a lot of time in the world craving and diverting our attention away from where it really could be and deep down where we want it to be. So we're not acting in our best interest, are we, as we race about chasing one shiny object after another. And nothing against the hot, sexy, shiny objects. I mean, they look cool. They're shiny, you know, they're attractive. That's the way that things appear to us. And what we get from chasing shiny objects is certainly a sense of short-term gratification, which doesn't last. So then it's on to the next shiny object. I mean, this is how the conditioned mind operates. So let's change our minds. Let's change our minds. I invite you to join me in changing your mind. This is what spiritual practice is and is all about. And who we are, the truth of who we are, has never changed, has never gone anywhere. And I hope that you may find this exhilarating. Yeah, I hope that you may find this uplifting and powerful and really begin to feel your true power. It's not power over other people. It's not power over phenomena or anything like that. It's the peace of God. It's who you are. And I know that you know this. And we can deny it all we want, can't we? I mean, we're super, super expert at that. I mean, it makes me laugh to even think about how expert we are at getting in our own way, which of course I talk about, and every spiritual teacher you'll ever meet will talk about as well. All right, so I really thank all of you for tuning in. Isabel, hi, how are you? Thanks for joining me here today. Now, if any of you have any questions or you have comments about this live stream, A Course in Miracles, or spirituality in general, definitely drop me a line here and let me know. This is a place that I would love to have you ask questions if you've got them. Because as I find, and no doubt you also find, the spiritual path, a spiritual practice brings up as many questions as it answers, doesn't it? And if you find yourself asking lots of questions, oh yeah, I love it. I love it. And so what I invite you to do is question literally everything, up to and including, and especially, the foundations of everything that you now believe. Isn't that exciting? Yeah. That's what we should do. And that's what we're encouraged to do in spirituality. I certainly encourage that. I certainly encourage questioning. Question. The ego doesn't want to be questioned, right? It wants to keep us off, just entranced, absolutely entranced and confused by all our shiny objects. It doesn't want us to devote time to spiritual practice. It doesn't want us to examine its non-existence and find it completely lacking, well, and nothing, non-existent. Doesn't want that, does it? So we have the free will and the power in the present moment to choose love, to choose spirituality, to choose yourself, capital S, God, right? The Holy Spirit, Jesus, Buddha, whoever your guides are. Yeah. And if you're confused, that's cool. Not a problem, right? It's absolutely not a problem to be confused on the path. Just ask your guides. Ask your teacher. Get in touch with your inner teacher and ask what you should do now. Ask for help. Ask for assistance. It's what the teacher is for. The teacher can't walk the walk for you, but they can certainly point out what you should do, what you should say, and to whom. All of that. You can hand them the reins, so to speak. You can hand them the wheel, so to speak, or control. Yeah, this is what we mean in spirituality by getting out of our own way. So as much as you're able to do that right now in the present moment, I invite you to do that. And if it feels like it's taking forever, that's not a problem. It's really okay, because this process takes time. It's what time is for. And naturally, we run in an impatient world, and our minds are often on warp speed hyperdrive. Yeah. I mean, we do want everything yesterday, but yesterday's gone. You have access right now to an opportunity, a precious opportunity to choose love. So I invite you to do that. All right. And if you have additional comments or questions, feel welcome to leave them here. And I hope that you have a beautiful weekend. I will be back here tomorrow, Saturday, here in North America, going through a couple more workbook lessons that we've covered previously. And we're seeing them in a different light, which always has value. All right. Guys, have a great rest of your day. Thank you for joining me. I'll talk to you soon.